Welcome back to Sisu Performance and Engineering. In today's video, we're 3D scanning the FC engine bay in order to make a custom turbo manifold. I'm gonna get the scanner all plugged in and set up, and then we're gonna get straight into 3D scanning. Now that we've got everything set up, we're gonna get right into scanning. Now the first step for us is gonna be doing a calibration. I like to do the calibration every time I scan, just make sure everything's good and the lights are calibrated to the current lighting and the atmosphere that we're scanning in. They provide this nice little white balance template thing that we scan with. Also to mention, this is the Einstar 3D scanner by Shining 3D. It's a pretty budget-friendly and affordable option. It does a really good job with large objects. So we're just gonna get started. I've got the environment set up for scanning here, and we've actually gone ahead and sprayed the engine bay down with a baby powder and water solution. This is super effective for the 3D scanner. It really struggles with those black, dark objects. Making everything white like this means that it can pick it up. So that's what we do. We use that solution. Super cheap, super easy. Just let it dry and everything's white. So we're just gonna get right into scanning. The thing we're trying to pick up the most is that exhaust flange, because we're going to be designing a custom manifold. And we also need to make sure we get things like the shock tower and the side of the engine here, so we know those clearances. We're also going to scan our turbo, and I'll put it in place in 3D space and then design around it. Yeah, while I'm scanning here, I'm watching the computer to see areas where it needs more scanning and less scanning. Pretty much it tells you where it's scanned and where it hasn't. And that helps you determine where you need to scan more and then where it's already completed. And it's picking this up really nicely. This Einstar does great with these large objects and stuff that's got defined texture, especially after using that solution on it. We've already pretty much got the exhaust flange on the engine done. And now I'm just gonna come over here and start working on the shock tower. So I actually paused it real quick just to make sure that we're still getting a good scan. And we are, it's picking it up really nicely here. There's kind of a lot of stuff in our way, like this harness and stuff, which I'm just gonna ignore whenever I'm in 3D space, but I really just want to get this shock tower placed correctly. And then I'm going to start working on that lower intake manifold section because I need that as well. The Einstar really loves these large objects. So you can see our scan is coming out super nicely. It's even picking up all the texture and the colors from the engine bay here, which we don't necessarily need, but it is pretty cool to see. One of the other critical things that we need to make sure we're scanning here is these AC lines. One of the unique things about our manifold is going to be that it retains the factory AC and keeps all those lines in their same position. So we want to make sure the manifold isn't too close to them so we're not melting them or overheating them unintentionally. Just hitting pause there. The scan is looking pretty complete. We've got a little bit of missing data up here on the shock tower. I'm going to try and fill in. And then down here on this lower intake manifold, there's a bit missing. But our AC line here is really good. And our flange down low there looks really good. So we're almost done, really. It's that simple. In these tight spaces like this, it's pretty hard to keep your working distance correct for the scanner to work optimally. So I'm trying to mess with the angle a bit to just fill in this space under the intake manifold, which is a little tricky. Really working low here to try and fill in the bottom of that lower intake manifold. That's going to be where we're going to have clearance issues potentially. And we want to make sure we've got really good resolution, good data there. It's coming out really nicely right now. All right, we got that scan pretty much complete. We're now just gonna generate the mesh and then we'll upload that into Fusion and start designing. We got one more scan we're gonna do. We're gonna end up scanning the front here so we can design an intercooler setup. We also will end up removing this so we can scan that area to design our piping. We'll do everything in Fusion, make the fabrication process a whole ton easier. All right, right now we're just scanning this turbo real quick. This is our SXZ 257 Borg-Warner turbo that we're gonna be using on the FC. I'm really focusing just on this exhaust side because that's what matters whenever I'm modeling it. Really, the cold side, as long as I got the height right, I know my clearances pretty well, so I'll be able to adjust that easily. But I just need to get the flanges, stuff that's gonna bolt to the manifold, all that good stuff. So real quick scan here. Not really trying to capture everything, mostly just those flanges. I ended up flipping the turbo a bit here to really properly capture the height of it. I want to make sure that I get that right because that is definitely important for the design process. But we pretty much got this flange all worked out at this point, so just minimal little scanning left and then we're done. All right, we got the turbo all scanned, we got the engine bay all scanned, now it's just putting the two together, and I'm gonna do that in 3D space in Fusion 360. You'll see a 3D printed mock-up of the manifold we designed that'll fit to this turbo to put it in the correct location. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely like, subscribe, keep the YouTube stuff coming. We're trying to make some sweet videos and high quality content to show you guys what we're doing here at Sisu Performance and Engineering.